Good morning. How are we? I've been awake for 12 minutes. Let's see if this coffee can help, huh? Jesus fucking Christ, it's hot. Oh my God. Say hello to the world. I don't think that's the words, but anyways, what up? What up? Give me 1 second. I'm getting gotta share the stream around real quick. 1 second. Boom, YouTube. Boom, my channel. Boom. Copy link. Interlinked. Fucking stupid picture. So I'm talking about, that is on brand for me. Link. Bing. Boom. Pow. Boom. Got it. Okay. My stories. All right. One more second. One more thing, and then we're Gucci, Fendi, Prada. Gotta double check, make sure chat is good. Pause. All right. We're on. We're rocking. Give it a minute. Let everybody pull up. Anybody? All of buddies? Can I change the live thumbnail while I'm in the live? Does anybody know? Let's see what the almighty Google has to say. Can I change my live stream thumbnail while already live? Live thumbnails are a live stream about every 5 minutes. Can I refresh or change the thumbnail of my live stream? No, but thumbnails update about every 5 minutes. What the fuck does that mean? Oh, that's Twitch. That doesn't seem to work either. Whatever. Fuck it. Here we go now. This thumbnail kind of sucks. I'm still, trying to figure out what's best for live stream thumbnails. It's kind of hard. I've just been grabbing the ones from the most recent videos. I'm not really sure how I feel about that, though. Not really sure. Anyways. got a fucking Aladdin. That's the Aladdin song, right? I can show you the world. That shit's stuck in my head now. I can show you the world. Huh. A thumbnail of Walking Street would do well. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch that I could do that I feel like would entice people to come into the live. But if I use a Walking Street thumbnail, I want to be doing the stream from Walking Street, you know? It's got to at least kind of be relevant, I feel like. It's like I've had friends talking about, like, for the actual videos, they're like, oh, just like use a thumbnail of this and then people will click on the video. It's like, yeah, but you can get tons of people to click, but if they don't watch the video, it doesn't matter. That's almost worse than not having a lot of people click, because the way the algorithm looks at it is if a ton of people are clicking on the video and then leaving right away, the algorithm just assumes it's clickbait and that, you know, people aren't interested in watching. So then it just really just buries your video, because, you know, YouTube doesn't want people to be dealing with a bunch of clickbait, because then they're inclined to leave YouTube. And the whole Jesus. A lot of people think like that the algorithm has like this sentience. All the algorithm what the fuck? All the algorithm is about is getting people to watch as many videos as they can. To get people to stay on YouTube as long as they can, watch as many videos as they can. Because then they see more ads. More ads means more money for YouTube. That's it. So if you have a channel or videos that entice people to continue watching, you're going to have success. That's why a lot of people don't really pay attention to end screens. Like which videos you get, you know, suggested at the end of whatever video. I actually like try to make those as relevant as possible, because if you have like session time is what it's called, it's really important for your channel. How much time are people spending on your channel watching your videos, not just individual videos? If you have really good session times, if people are coming to your channel and binging videos, YouTube likes that. So at the end of my videos, I try to always put something in there suggested that is going to be relevant to what people just watched. A lot of people, I feel like, don't pay attention to that. Not that I'm some fucking YouTube guru by any means, but... All right. So, what is today? May 10th, 2025. Dude, I can't believe it's fucking May already. 2025 is halfway over. That's wild, dude. I can... God damn it, that fucking song is stuck in my head now. I can show you the world. Makes sense. Gonna start a channel when I move to Thailand. Probably move to Rayong, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot to film out there. Rayong, you're in a pretty good spot if you want to do like outdoor stuff. There's actually some surfing in Rayong at certain times of year. Not that that's necessarily super good content, because it's not like world renowned or anything. I like Rayong though. It's like it's plenty big enough to where you could live there and be comfortable, and it's quiet. I know quite a few girls that live here that go down to Rayong to party pretty consistently. Some of the places like locals go for like long weekends or vacations, I'm like, I was surprised last time I was in Vientiane in Laos. Like, there's not a whole lot going on there. the amount of Thai girls I met that would like go up there for long like weekends or vacations and stuff. I'm like, I guess if you're like from northern Thailand, like that area from the Thailand side, it's pretty quiet. Tuna on white, no crust. All right, says Jay Nam, the $5 super chat. Thank you, bro. I gotta resize that shit. It is all up in my face. Give me 1 second. Where's my mouse? That shit is massive. Let's make that a little bit smaller. There we go. Story of my life, huh? Jay, what's up, bro? Thank you for the super chat. What was I saying? Oh, if you're from like Thailand up there, it's pretty quiet. So Vientiane's like a big city. But yeah, all the time I like meet people out and they're like, yeah, we come here for vacation. I'm like, a lot of Thai people that I've met, they, when it comes to vacation stuff, they want to go to places that are like quieter. Just feel like there's too many content creators in Pattaya. Easy, bro. Easy. No, there's a lot in Thailand, period. Pretty much no matter where you go, there's going to be other content creators. But the thing about it is, it's like, there's always something you could add to the narrative. You know what I mean? Like, I make videos about Pattaya, but I feel like compared to quite a few creators here, I kind of come at it from a different angle. And like, people don't necessarily follow YouTube creators for the content. I mean, they do, but at the same time, they don't. Like, most of the time, they're following a personality. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of the people that I like to watch, I just enjoy watching them for whatever reason, whether it be they're charismatic or informative or funny or whatever. So there's always something you can add. The only thing about Ray Young that I could see being an issue is when you're first starting on YouTube, you have to provide some type of value to new viewers. Because if, you know, you're a relative nobody, even with me, like in the grand scheme of YouTube, I'm still completely irrelevant. So there's not a lot of viewers that will watch just to see what I'm doing. That's why I like when people suggest like, oh, just do daily vlogs. Like, I can do that if I'm doing something interesting. But if it's just like my day and it's like, oh, I'm going to get coffee and now I'm going to the gym, you know what I mean? Nobody's going to give a fuck. So the only problem with Ray Young is if you're targeting foreigner demographics, I don't think Ray Young is on a lot of people's list. I even deal with that with doing Pattaya stuff because there's a lot of people, especially my age, like kind of my demographic, a lot of them that are coming to Thailand, Pattaya is not on the list. So you got to try to find something where you're providing value, but people are also still going to be interested in it. But at the same time, especially if you're older, I know there's a lot of expats, if they're planning on coming to Thailand, they want to be somewhere like Ray Young. They want to be somewhere that's quiet, more laid back. They don't got to deal with all the fucking craziness from like Bangkok or Pattaya or the prices in Phuket. So there, I think you could definitely make it work. Bank Saray is the shit. Yeah, I like Bank Saray too. When I was getting ready, before I moved here, I was actually looking at condos down there. The only thing with Bank Saray is it's just so small. Like after like 10 p.m., there's not a lot going on. Not that I like really go out and party a lot or anything, but there's plenty of times when I want to go get food or other stuff. It's just like, it's just far enough where if you have to come to Pattaya consistently, it's a bit of a pain. But especially if you're like on a longer visa or something where you don't have to. My big one when I'm looking at places is always immigration. What's it going to be like having to go to immigration? Granted, it's a bit different now since I'm on a new, like the DTV. I don't have to deal with it as much, but if you're in a situation where you do, that could be kind of a bummer. Jesus. How's the bathroom situation there when you're out drinking? I'm in Cali, and because of the homeless shit here, no businesses will let you use their bathrooms. Most bars have their own bathrooms. If they don't, there are public bathrooms, like in most of the bar districts. and you have to pay 5 or 10 baht to use the bathroom. The first night I went out partying, I didn't know that. And I was hanging out with these girls and I was like, where's the toilet? And they're like, oh yeah, just go around and go like around the corner. And I come walking up and of course I just go to walk in and they're like, hey, like you have to pay. And I thought I was like getting scammed or something. I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean I have to pay? But yeah, that's totally normal. And if you're bringing anybody with you, if you have some lady friends coming with you, make sure they put like some tissue in their bag. For if they have to use the restroom, because most places will have it for sale, but sometimes they don't. So just at 7-Eleven, they have like little packs of Kleenex for like 5 baht. Just get a couple of those, throw them in your bag, and then you're all set. Vietnam. Mrs. Hankin with the super chat. Good morning from Thailand. Thank you so much. What is today? Saturday. Can't believe it's the May 10th already. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, are there a lot of public bathrooms, I guess, is I'm asking. Yeah, there's, in most of the districts, finding a bathroom isn't too much of an issue. The only time it can be a bit of a nightmare is on the beach. Tuna on white, no crust. Awesome, thanks for that bathroom info. Says, wake up before it's over with the $10 super chat. No problem. Thank you very much for the donation. I really appreciate it. Yeah, the only time it kind of sucks is like on the beach. There's definitely times if you're like hanging out on the beach drinking or whatever, there might not, especially if it's late, because a lot of the bathrooms will close. A lot of businesses too, even if you're not in the business, like if it's a restaurant or something, they'll let you use the bathroom, but it's the same thing. You just got to pay like 5 or 10 baht most of the time. Have you thought of buying a car and or a motorbike? Yeah, I have a bike. If I had the money, I would possibly get a car just for traveling around the rest of Thailand. I think if you had to drive a car, it really just depends. If sitting in traffic doesn't bother you, by all means, get a car. You can sit in the air conditioning while you're going somewhere. Parking can be a bit of a nightmare in certain parts of town. But me, I fucking hate sitting in traffic. I get so irritated, and it's like, I've tried to work on it, it just doesn't matter. But if that doesn't bother you, by all means, get a car. And cars are actually still very affordable here if you're getting something that's not imported. If you want to get an imported car, it's insane. Oh shit, I didn't even notice. We made the fundraiser, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I guess I can go ahead and take that down, huh? Y'all some real ones. I think that only took a couple of weeks. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Clap it up. Clap it up. Gotta make sure all my neighbors are awake. PS5 or Xbox, and is the internet good there for streaming games? Yeah, internet's solid. I pay for fiber internet. I don't actually get 1 gig down. I probably get like 600 or 700 megs. But yeah, most buildings are wired for good internet. It's just if you're looking to like sign a lease and commit to a place, that is 100% a question you need to ask, because certain buildings will only be wired for certain providers, and certain providers aren't as good as others. I use 3BB, and for some reason, when I was getting ready to get Wi-Fi, everybody like had negative stuff to say about them. It's been great for me. It's cheap. I pay for Gigablast. I pay for 1 gig download speed. I pay 620 baht a month, something like that. Or maybe it might be more. It might be like 800. No, it's 600, like 620. It's never, there's been 1 or 2 times at like 3 or 4 in the morning where it was like down for maintenance. But besides that, no problem. Their website is super intuitive. Their customer service, if you ever need to call them, they have English options. They have people speak English. So they came in, they installed it within like 2 days after I paid for it. Like, so I have no complaints. Before that, I had AIS. I was just using a hotspot, and the hotspot from AIS was like, it was insane. I want to say it was like 1,500 baht a month, and it was only like 250 megs because my old building wasn't wired for Wi-Fi, so I had to use a hotspot. So when you're looking for a condo, make sure that is on your list of questions. Is it wired for high-speed internet, and if so, which provider? Because some are insanely more expensive than others. It's not like back home where everything is pretty much in the same kind of realm of how much it costs. Like some of them, I was looking at, I think True for like Gigablast internet, and they were charging like almost 2,000 a month. Mine's 600. So, granted, like I said, I don't get that whole speed usually. I usually only get like 600 or 700 megs, but that's plenty fast, especially if you're just by yourself. You can play games no problem. Like I downloaded a new game a few days ago. The game was like 45 gigabytes. It took like 30 minutes to download. So nothing too crazy. Now subtract 30% for YouTube's cut. Yes, dude, it's a nightmare. But dude, you know my biggest complaint with that? YouTube takes 30% of all my income from here, ad revenue, everything, and I still don't get at like YouTube Premium. Like shouldn't YouTube creators be able to get YouTube Premium? It should just be like included. Okay, you're monetized now you're making money for YouTube. Here's, so you don't have to watch ads. Whatever. I had a few friends suggest like, oh, you should stream on Twitch too. Twitch is 50-50. That's insane to me. So if we're over streaming on Twitch and one of you guys, slides $20, I only get 10. It's fucking crazy, dude. Path to retirement. What's up, brother? If you had the option for a marriage visa, how do you feel it compares to DTV? I'm not really sure how the marriage visa works. From what I understand, I think it's pretty similar to the retirement visa. I think it's a 1-year visa. You still have to everybody has to do the 90-day reports. That's not a big deal though. It's a 1-year visa, and then I think every year you have to like go back in and be like, hey, I'm still married, and like show that you're still here. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Tough question. Dig all your videos. Thanks, bro. Why I keep working is to make sure I'm never poor again. Almost there. Do you worry that you won't have any money left at 50 plus? No. I'm not worried about it, especially because I've got multiple skills already. If shit ever did hit the fan, I could go home and get a job super easy. So luckily before I decided to go like content creation, I have work experience in like legitimate industries that are going to continue to be a thing, as long as I'm alive, most likely. So I've got things I could fall back on for sure. And it's all, the way I look at it is it's what's important to you. Am I making good money right now? No. Have I made more money at other times in my life? Abso-fucking-lutely. But at the same time, a lot of those times when I was making better money, I would say that I'm less happy than I am right now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not making crazy money right now by any means, but the freedom and the incentive, you know what I mean, to want to work, to want to make videos, to want to do live streams and hang out with you guys, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like, it feels strange to get paid for it a lot of the time, you know what I mean? And I was getting to the point where I was sick of being in jobs and like being the best employee or going above and beyond and like being capped at like, this is how much you're making, period. No matter how good you do, no matter how much better you are than the guy next to you, he's making the same as you. Like, that shit was just frustrating to me. And like the corporate world in America has changed, you know what I mean? I didn't want to work somewhere for 40 years and like climb the ladder and be an amazing employee, and then one week I get called into a boardroom and they're like, yeah, we're laying you off. Fuck that. I would much rather go and try to build something for myself, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I'd rather try and fail than not try, you know? How is this shit cold already? What the fuck? 400,000 Thai baht in a bank account for like 3 months, locked each year, but obviously any age, so good if not 50. Right, that's what I thought. I thought it was pretty similar to the retirement visa. Only thing with that though is you have to get married. I don't know if that's worth it for me. I don't know if that's worth it for me. What the? Who just typed dildo in the chat? What the fuck? Oh, dildo Baggins. Okay. My man. Did the chat delete dildo? That's funny. How do you think about AI? I work in that trade and it's gonna get gnarly, man. Steve, what's up, bro? What trade? I think AI is going to change the scape of a lot of industries, but I think it's also going to create a lot of jobs as well. And I think it's going to help open up people to a lot of things they might not have been able to do by themselves, you know? Felipe Douglas, thank you for the sub. Have you thought about setting up a pod between you and 2 other Pattaya vloggers, weekly or bi-weekly, where you discuss the last current week topics that are relevant to you and your viewers? I've thought about it. If somebody like reached out to me, maybe, but there's not, I'm not really sure who I'd want to do it with. One of those things too, it's like, do people really give a shit? You know? Do I need a podcast to do that, or can I make videos doing the same thing? If I'm gonna like collab with somebody, there has to be mutual gain to be had. You know what I mean? And I don't want to just go to somebody who has a way bigger platform and be like, yo, do a podcast with me. That to me feels like I'm just asking for a handout, you know? If I could find something that was beneficial to me and whoever I did it with, yeah, for sure. Like you, Gonna Drift, Mac TV, you all bring up your own perspectives. I'd be down to do it with Sam. For sure. Kept messing up the message. Jesus Christ. Dildo Baggins is crazy work. I work in AI trade. What does that mean? It's good to see you too, bro. Like you work in AI? Is that what you mean? Oh yeah, I was gonna hide this. I know one of my buddies here is like a day trader, and he's like swearing by AI. He's been using it for a bunch of stuff. I'm thinking about changing the feng shui. What do you guys think? Do you think this is like a fine backdrop for videos or live streams? I don't know. I just see some of these guys with their live stream setups, and I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, that's a sick, like, studio. I don't know. Granted, I'm in a studio apartment, so I don't have a ton of options when it comes to reorganizing furniture, but I might be able to figure something out. One second, guys. I'm going to use the restroom really quick. Okay. Pee sound? You can't hear me peeing, no way. I was hitting the bank shot. There's no fucking way. You could probably hear the toilet flush. There's not a whole lot I can do. My toilet is only like fucking 8 feet away from here. I guess I could mute the mic, but where's the fun in that? I wish I had that fast. Check, check. That better? Use an actual mic. I got it. God damn it. Let me catch up real quick. Yeah, in AI, sorry, I used to work in film. Nice. Got a great bachelor pad. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I am much more happy with this place than I was with my old spot. The old spot, the location was really good, but once I got a bike, that was not really relevant anymore. You know what I mean? Like the room itself, like the guy obviously like let his wife decorate it, and she did a fucking terrible job. It's like this really awful yellow on one wall, and then like pink on this one random like pink wall in the middle, and she obviously didn't like tape the edges, so there was just like paint. The edge was all fucked. It drove me insane. Then she had like all these like butterfly like stickers on the wall. It was so embarrassing. Like anytime I had a girl come hang out, I was just like, don't look around, please. It's fucking embarrassing. You're gonna think I'm like a serial killer or something. Pull your couch up, put the desk, pull your couch up, put the desk and computer behind the couch so the camera is just at the wall. Oh, okay. So like with that light right there, like that wall behind me, that's what I was thinking. I wanted to get somewhere where I'm closer to the wall, and then I can like decorate the wall. So use a virtual background. Don't have to worry about cleaning up or what's left on the table behind you. That is facts. I do every time I'm about to do one of these streams or film, I do like a lap to make sure I don't got any weird shit sitting out. I have like some really cool virtual backgrounds that I made, and I have a green screen, but then I have to put up the green screen and stuff. And I don't really like, it's an eyesore when I'm not using it, you know? Tuna on white, no crust, right? How feasible is it to bring an 11-year-old there to live with? Do you know any expats who brought a kid with them? English-speaking school would be a must, I'm thinking, says Wake Up Before It's Over with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Yeah, a kid, it's totally reasonable to bring your kid. There are international schools all over Thailand that, from what I hear, are very high-level schools. And personally, like, granted, I don't know shit about raising a kid, but I think a kid going to school with other kids from different nationalities and different places in the world would be really cool for a kid, you know what I mean? To make friends from wherever, learn about different cultures. The only thing I've heard negative stuff about is some of the public schooling in Thailand. Granted, I don't know really. And you know how people are. They might have their own opinions for whatever reasons. But yes, like Steve said, obviously like the high level international schools are pretty expensive. Henry Bob Schrillikers, I made alive, M-A-I-D. Nice, nice, nice. What's up, bro? Let me make sure I caught up on everything. I think 11 is like the perfect age too, because they're like plenty old enough to be learning and understanding that they're in a new country and they've got to, you know, change the way that they act. I don't know. I think that would be really cool. And healthcare here is very good and affordable too. So you have that going on. God forbid anything happens. You could put your computer and desk in front of the balcony so people can see the view outside. That's not a bad idea, but the view kind of sucks. I mean, it's not bad. The only thing that's a bummer is I have to have this like netting up on my balcony because for some reason this building, the amount of pigeons is fucking insane. So that kind of fucks it up. And with this camera too, it's got like the aperture depth. You know what I mean? How everything behind me is blurry. So I don't really know. We'll figure it out. Maybe I'll think about that today. See if I can. Oh, and the other thing too is if I put it on the wall, I want to decorate the wall, but I don't want to put a bunch of holes in the wall either, you know? This stuff is all hanging up with just like a single thumbtack, and I'm going to be sleeping one night and that shit's going to bop me in the head. Have you seen any cop robots? I have not. We were actually checking that out the other day on one of the other streams. Pretty crazy, dude. I wonder, like, how that's going to work. I would imagine, essentially, it's probably just, like, a mobile security camera. You know what I mean? Like, what could it really do? But it's probably just got a live feed. And so people can just, you know, watch the camera. At that point, I'm like, wouldn't a person do the same thing? And a person could intervene? I don't know. I guess you could put more robots everywhere and you don't have to pay the robot. You can pass the bar on to them. What the hell does that mean? How do you feel about Bon Amfur? I looked there and landed on Bang Saray. Jomtien's kind of interesting, but I like the peace and chill area of Bang Saray. I go down to Bang Saray pretty frequently, honestly. I feel like I should know where Bon Amfur is. Oh yeah, I was actually I was here the other day. It's the place with the big pier, right? And they've got the big, massive jetty. Yeah, over by the yacht club. Yeah, I just filmed a video here the other day. I like it. I used to go down there a lot. The only like real thing I could see being an issue in those places is food. Now, if you can eat Thai food every day, you'll be good. But me, like, I have to have some type of access to Western food, even if that just means a grocery store. So I don't know if I have never seen like a full grocery store in Bang Saray. But if there wasn't, if I had to come all the way down here and, you know, go to Lotus or wherever right here, like, not that it's not doable, but it's just a bit of a mission. And it's like with my bike, I just have like a little 125 Honda, you know what I mean? Nothing crazy. So driving on Sukhumvit is a bit nerve wracking because people are just like, choom, 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 choom. And like me, when it comes to bikes, I'm not scared of things in front of me. You know what I mean? If I could see shit coming, I'm plenty good enough rider where I can avoid shit. The thing that worries me is getting hit from behind. So that's nerve-wracking on Sukhumvit. Anytime you got to like change lanes and stuff, I'm just worried somebody's going to be flying through there and just blast me from behind. Crazy AI surveillance is coming. It's going to suck. Yeah, facial recognition and all that shit is for sure going to be a thing. I had to deal with it once in Vegas. It was pretty wild. I got into an altercation with a guy outside the Bellagio. And yeah, it was bad. But yeah, I ended up getting banned. And then I went back like 2 years later and tried to sneak in. And I made it like 15 steps. And they were like, you're not allowed in here. I was like, what the fuck? Cut to a shot of you being chased by a RoboCop. Yeah, that's the only, like, I could imagine that at some point there'll be like, if you guys have seen Terminator Salvation with the Terminator motorcycles, could you imagine that? Like if it was a robo motorcycle cop, you're not getting away with him. Do you have a rack or something on it, your bike? No, I just like if I need to go grocery shopping, I just take a backpack. I don't buy like a ton of stuff. I'm usually just buying like what I need for that one meal I'm cooking. U.S. immigration doesn't even look at your passport. They just greet you and say, carry on. That's, yeah, compared to here. It's funny, dude. Sometimes, there's been times when I'm coming through and they're just like, scan, ding, 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 bow, and I'm on. And then other times, not so much. You feel comfortable on the Grom, you're tall, right? Yeah, it's plenty comfortable for me. The only time it gets a little rough is if I'm riding for like hours, just because I have a super stiff seat. But changed some stuff on it so it's more comfortable for me since I'm taller. Like I changed the rear sets so the pegs are dropped like probably like 1.5 inches compared to where they would normally be. And then I got different bars and a bar riser to get the bars up so I can sit more square. But I fit surprisingly well on it. Granted, like my feet are almost like behind me, but my legs still fit under the fairings and everything. It's all facial recognition now and they take a pic. And yeah, it was wild because I didn't even like, none of the security or anything had even seen me. They obviously like got a notification when I walked in and it was instantly like, phoom, nope, you're not allowed in. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was going to like argue with them. They were like, we already know, we had your picture. The computer let us know you were here. You're not allowed in. It's like, fuck. Granted, the Bellagio kind of sucks anyway, so no big deal. Good idea on the rear. Yeah, I'm pretty used to setting up bikes for to be a little bit taller. I did it all the time with dirt bikes. I have to get like drop pegs and then drop pegs, a taller seat, and then taller bars. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize like how much an inch or two, like how big of a difference that can make. People are like, oh, you dropped the pegs an inch. What is that going to do? I'm like, you'd be surprised how much more comfortable it'll be. Want to sumo a CRF 300. I don't know if I really want a big bike. The thing is, like, I feel like a 300, like a CRF, would be perfect because it's just enough. It's enough power to like get you out of the way if something happens. But it's a dirt bike, so it's light. And I mean, in motorcycle terms, it's light, and it's still narrow enough where you can get in between traffic and everything. In Bangkok, I would hate to ride like a actual like sport bike, like a 600 or something like that. Heavy, wide, so like going through traffic would be kind of a bitch. But I think get a CRF, put some street tires on it. That'd be sick. And especially because you've got all that suspension too. So fuck a pothole. Found the best pizza place in Bangkok, the 911 pizza at this Italian place, La Taverna. Also can get a very good Western style burger at another place on the beach, 2-minute walks from my condo. Yeah, I found quite a bit of decent food in Bangkok. La Taverna, that sounds familiar. Let's check it out. Is there like a actual grocery store in Bangkok? Oh yeah, this place looks nice. Pizza looks good. I don't know what's going on. I feel like when I first got to Pattaya, it was so easy to find good pizza. I went to multiple places and it was all good. And lately, I don't know what the deal is. And it wouldn't be that big of a deal if pizza wasn't so goddamn expensive. By, Thailand standards, like I spent 400 baht on a pizza and it sucks. I'm pissed. It's like trying to get barbecue in America. Like if you go to a barbecue place and it sucks, you're fucking mad because you probably spent like $80 on that shit. Are you into crypto at all? No, not really. I've hopped in and out a few times. I've just always been late. I've always like bought on the hype and bought way too high. I would love to, be able to work on some investments. I just don't have the extra money to throw at it right now. I have quite a few friends who are balls deep on crypto though. I'm totally open to investing in crypto, but I wouldn't do like the meme coin shit. I fully believe in like the technology side of it, you know what I mean? Like actual blockchain technology. Like I would invest in those, but I'm not going to try my luck at fucking meme coins. Whatever happened to NFTs? Is that just over? Everybody was talking about how like that was the fucking next thing, and then it seems like everybody just kind of lost all their money, and now that's it. There's one Lotus Go Fresh, obviously a bunch of pretty big 7-Eleven, but for the Costco style bulk, we go to Macro, which is 15 minutes away. Great steak there too. Yeah, Macro, if you're shopping, sweet deals. For me, I don't shop there just because I can't justify buying that much food. I feel like it's gonna go bad before I eat it. I go to the big Lotus. Pro tip, if you wanna go shop at a grocery store for Western food, if you go to Lotus after like 6 p.m. to like 8 p.m., if you go after that, there's like, they have a bunch of fresh food and stuff in there too. If you go after those times, they'll mark a bunch of that stuff down like 80% because they obviously can't keep it, so they're trying to sell the leftovers. Like they sell whole rotisserie chickens in there that are really fucking good. And I think usually the whole chicken is like $180, I want to say, maybe $280, something like that. And then if they're still there, they mark them down. They're like 60 baht. Same with bread. They actually have like a really good bakery there. If you get the bread from the day before, granted it's a little stiff, but if you're gonna eat it in a day or two, it's fine. Like you can get whole baguettes for like 20 baht. You can get a whole loaf of sourdough for like 30 baht. It's a fucking sweet deal. I'm in NFTs and crypto. Yeah, NFTs are not doing so hot. However, I got a few free airdrops from holding roughly 10K USD this year. Yeah, I wonder, if it's going to be one of those things, kind of like how Bitcoin was back in the day. When Bitcoin first came out, it was pretty popular. A bunch of people got it. It was still, pennies compared to now. But a bunch of people got it, and then it dipped. A bunch of people got rid of it, and then it never came up again, really, for like 10 years. And then that's when it really started like taking off in like 2014, 2015. There was, at one point, I got a pizza. I was playing a game on Steam. I had somebody order me a pizza, and I sent them 10 Bitcoin, I think. Something like that, like 10 or 15 Bitcoin for a $10 pizza. Great, like, so many people were like, oh, you'd be a millionaire. It's like, I would not be a millionaire, because even if I kept it then, as soon as it hit like $100, I would have sold it then too. If somehow I made it through that, as soon as it hit 400, I would have sold it so many times before it got to thousands of dollars. What's it at right now? Is it pretty stable? Last time I saw it was like, I want to say like 90K. No, I don't want the 102. Damn, so it's like still going up, huh? Oh, it's trending up right now for sure. Oh, this is one day. Let's look at 6 months. Oh yeah, it's pretty much back to where it was 6 months ago. Pretty wild. In April, it dipped way down. Do mosquitoes eat you up when you're out every time? No, honestly, like, especially here in Pattaya, I rarely have issues. Which is, I was surprised when I got here, because in America, I'm like the friend, if we're all out camping, nobody else is getting bit by mosquitoes and I'm just getting fucking annihilated. But I haven't really dealt with them here. Every once in a while, I'll get one in the condo and then they'll chew me up. But for the most part, I haven't really dealt with them. The worst place I had to deal with them was in Laos, in Vientiane, because it's right there on the Mekong. It was fucking insane, dude. Just clouds of them everywhere you went. Every time I went in or out of my hotel, I had to like and shut it as fast as I could, and like 10 would still get in. All the restaurants in Vientiane are all like built on the river right there. So the first night I went down there to eat, and I was just like, I just felt them like every half a second bumping into my legs. I got destroyed. I would imagine they'd probably be a bit worse, like inland, but they weren't bad in Krabi. I don't remember them being bad in Chiang Mai. Bangkok, no. Yeah, I haven't, from like, compared to what people were saying when I was getting ready to come to Thailand, they're like, oh, you got to get shots for like dengue and like all this stuff, mosquitoes. And nothing really. For the DTV, do you need 15K in the account for 3 months or just the time of the application? From what I've seen, they want to see it in an active account. From what I've seen. If you can, I would just go that route. Even if you can get like 6 months and just have it sitting in there. Yeah, and they want it to be in like an active account. So they don't want it to be, which doesn't really make sense to me. But I think if you do that, then there's like really no argument, opposed to if you transfer it, and I'm sure if you transfer it, if you can show wherever it came from, like, yeah, I took it out of this savings or whatever, it's been in there, and if you can show that it's been in there, I think that would be fine. Granted, I don't know though. And from what I've heard, like every embassy is a bit different. They're all asking for different stuff. When I went, I'm fairly certain they wanted to see an active account. One second, guys. I'm going to use the restroom real quick, and I'm going to make another cup of coffee. Give me 1 minute. Actually, check me out. Just so you guys don't have to get the piss ASMR, I'm going to mute the mic real quick. Got it. Man, Jay, you're still here? Just fucking chilling, huh? Creeping in the chat. Creeping in the chat. Oh shit, guys, check this out. I ran into Chad the other day, CB Media, and he hooked me up with one of his shirts. Look how fucking sick this graphic is. So dope. And it's like, it's got it on like the front too with like the ghost. Fucking dope, dude. Super cool shirt. Super like Thai style. Rad. I can show you the world. Got it. Oh, fuck. I almost missed the chair. Are those t-shirts made? No, they're not. They're like that, the dry fit material, the wicking or whatever. That's like, those are a must in Thailand. Like, even this shirt is not particularly thick, but it's cotton and it's so hot. They don't breathe at all. I missed who that was, my bad. I missed who just subbed. My bad, but welcome. Greeting from Canada. Hello, hello. My buddy James is Canadian. I was just ripping on him the other day. We need to know if the Israeli skunk, Jesus Christ, who disrespected Thailand will get deported. I saw yesterday, she put out a TikTok, I think, and she's like doubling down. She is really trying to spin it as she's the victim. I'm going to continue to check it out today. And if more comes out, it's like, I don't want to beat it to death, but I might make another video on it just because it's so fucking wild to me. Even the video I made, I don't know if you guys saw, but there's people in the comments saying that, like, defending her and saying that the business is like ridiculous for, you know, doing that to a paying customer. Pretty wild. I don't know if it's people just trying to rage bait, but it seemed pretty genuine that they really felt like you can't do that to customers. It's like, I love Thailand. I really hope they don't go down the customer is always right. No matter what a customer does, they are always right, because that shit, it is so just not realistic, and it is so selfish for your employees. Without American taxpayers, right? I had a bunch of people, because I made a reel and a TikTok about it too, and there's this one guy kept commenting. He's like, yeah, as if her, you know, 40-baht 7-Eleven toasty and her fucking avocado shake built the economy. It's just funny because, you know, there were people that were like, yes, tourists, it is a lot of money, especially before COVID, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. But money just does not make a country appear. You know what I mean? And Thailand made a lot of its progression before tourism got so massive here. You know what I mean? Like, post World War II to like the 80s, Thailand, like, King Rama IX just went in on building infrastructure and modernizing, you know what I mean? So it's like, with 3 minutes of research, you can tell that that's not true. Problem is, tourism is not even the high. Yeah, especially now, like, tourism is, I mean, a big chunk of Thailand's GDP is tourism. But even then, I think it's only, when it was at its highest, I want to say it was like 15 to 20%, maybe. Let's look. How much is tourism a part of Thailand's GDP? In 2022, the tourism industry contributed 2.78% directly to Thailand's GDP, and an additional 7.24% indirectly. This means the tourism sector contributed around 1.3 trillion Thai baht to Thailand's GDP in total. 7%. Granted, that was in 2022. I think it's a bit higher now. But yeah, like you said, like Thailand has manufacturing, produce. I know produce is a really big one. Latex and rubber is a big one. Michael Robbins, what's up, dude? Miss seeing you at Keys One's gathering a couple weeks ago, back in cold Australia. Dude, he invited me, and I completely forgot. That's my bad. Granted, that was the AI answer, so let's see if we can find a little bit more. This says 3% by the International Trade Administration. Yeah, agricultural and industrial sector make up the majority, which makes sense. Yeah, because Isuzu, right? I'm pretty sure Isuzu is... Maybe not. I could have swore... now that I read it, yeah, it's Japanese. I don't know where. I think it's just because they have a lot of manufacturing here. But for some reason, I thought Isuzu was Thai. I guess not. I guess not. Apologize for the bad Canadians if you see ones there from Montreal. French people are crazy. I haven't seen any. Personally, I haven't ran into any like wild Canadians. I haven't met a whole lot in all reality compared to like Europe. Like most of the white people I meet here are from Europe or Australia. A lot of Australia too. Great day that ended in a very late night with Sam. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's the only thing that I'm afraid of about going to those two is because a lot of times that's what ends up happening. Last year, at some time, I went to Bangkok to do this event with a sponsor, and Keys was there too. And it was like the sponsor event, there was free drinks, so we were going there, and then we ended up going out. We were out all night. I got back to my hotel at like 9 in the morning, and checkout was at 10, I'm pretty sure. Slept for like an hour, woke up, was supposed to take the bus back, and I felt like such shit. I just went back to the bar and just like had 4 or 5 more beers, and then just called the taxi service I always use here, and then had them come pick me up. Yeah, dude, it was bad. We went, I remember we went to Nana at one point, and that's pretty much all I remember. I don't remember where else we went, but we weren't just there. I'll be in Pattaya with the fam at the end of the month. White guy speaking Chinese with his Chinese family. Can't wait to get weird looks. Who's that white guy that's all over TikTok that speaks a bunch of languages? I always forget his name. He's great. I love following him, and when he just walks into like random stores and starts speaking their language, I'd really be interested to see like what his program is for learning languages. Because when he talks to people, he's like, can have a conversation, and then they're like, how long have you been speaking? He's like, oh, I've just been practicing for a couple months. And like being able to converse at all when only practicing for a couple months is fucking crazy. I would imagine the more languages you learn though, you start to like build a pretty good system of like, okay, if I learn these words first, then it'll help me converse, and then I can go here and here and here. So I bet he's got it pretty broken down. Dude's insane. Yeah, he's from Jersey, I think. Roberto versus the world. No, not him. Although I've seen his content too. With him, it goes like back and forth. Sometimes I love seeing it and it's really funny. And then other times I'm just like, ugh, I'm just like cringing. But dude's successful. Like got a massive following. Zhao Ma. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's cool. After the third language, I think they come easier after. Yeah, and you like, I would imagine you learn the like phrases and stuff you're gonna need to know more often, you know? And there's like a surprising, even from my very limited knowledge of learning new languages, there is quite a bit of stuff that crosses over between languages. I would imagine, especially when you're in certain parts of the world, you know? Because even like, I find stuff in Thai that is kind of weirdly similar to Spanish in some of the pronunciation and stuff. So I'd imagine, oh God, coffee burp. I'd imagine once you learn quite a bit, you start to recognize that stuff more. The same, he was in Melbourne when we were in Thailand. Roberto, yeah. His stuff, like, it's one of those things where I like watching it, but I don't think I could ever do it. Like, I'm just, he gives no fucks, like, say what's on his mind every second of the day, and I really respect that. Sometimes stupid shit ends up coming out, but that's, you know, what can you expect? I'm just not like that extroverted. I don't think I could do that, unless I was just like hammered all the time, which he definitely parties, so. Crazy, man. I don't think we'll be alive for long. Yeah, God forbid, dude. He fucking parties. I saw one of his videos the other day where he was like ranting. He wakes up and you can tell he's like just hung over his shit. He was like, man, I take out 10,000. I wake up the next day, it's gone. I wake up, it's gone. And every time that just hits so close to home for me because I know exactly that's like. Like, oh yeah, I'll take out 10,000. That should last me for at least like the week. Then you go out one night and you wake up the next day, you got 500 baht left. You're like, what the fuck happened? Roberto versus the World is Brazilian. I don't think so. I want to say he's Italian. Italian, Portuguese, and Spanish. I was going to say, yeah, like Roberto. I was going to say it's like Spanish or Italian, I feel like. So yeah, it's saying here too, I think his heritage is Italian, Portuguese, and Spanish, but I think he's from Sweden because this says blend of Swedish heritage and Romani from Macedonia. Is Macedonia still a place? There's like so many like bios on him. There's just like multiple websites giving like full breakdowns. Born in Sweden, but parents are born elsewhere. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I was gonna say Roberto. Does not sound like a Swedish name. Me, on the other hand, very Swedish name. My name's about as fucking Swedish as it gets. No way he's from. Yeah, I don't think his parents are actually Swedish. I just think that's where he was born. I would imagine his parents are immigrants. Tuna on white, no crust. Phoenix, surprise Arizona. Actually, Thailand's amazing. Southeast Asia is amazing. Been to Bangkok and Chiang Mai, Vietnam, early next year. Enjoy your content, says Jason Sinkar with the $5 super chat. Arizona boys, what's up? I'm glad you enjoy the content, bro. That's a perfect itinerary, I think. I really liked Chiang Mai. I tell everybody Bangkok's a must. Even if you go there and you don't enjoy it particularly, it's just like quintessential Thailand hustle and bustle. Yeah, I got to spend some time there. Vietnam, absolutely on the list for me too. Everybody's swearing by Da Nang. I saw on YouTube yesterday that there's actually some sweet point breaks there and like some pretty good surfing. I'm all over that. I would love to be in a place where I can just go down to the beach and surf. That'd be fucking awesome. Thailand is goated. That it is. That it is. My only real complaint about Thailand is there's pretty much no surfing. That's a bit of a bummer. Man, the fucking bot is down, huh? Or bot's up, dollars down. 30, 33, I guess that's not too bad. I feel like last year at some point it got down to like 31. I was like, ugh. Granted, with me, it's not too big of a deal because I'm not pulling money very consistently. And if I am, it's like $100 here, $100 there. But if you're coming and you're exchanging a couple grand, 31 to 35 that's a decent chunk. Doing Hua Hin for a couple days in August, then Pattaya for 10 days. I feel like more people are going to Hua Hin now. What did they say in my video the other day? That guy who murdered his wife and was hiding here. Oh, stayed in the resort town of Hua Hin. I think it's nice. I've never been there. I think it's nice, but resort town? Is that accurate? Is that what you will call it? I don't know. I've been in China for 13 years as an expat, and Thailand is always the travel destination. Wow. So, Doomer, you said you're white, correct? Where are you from, nationality-wise? Hua Hin seems more like a retirement zone. Yeah, from what I've heard, the comparison is pretty much like Pattaya without all the crazy like nightlife, you know, debauchery. Much more like retired, chill. I think there is some nightlife there if you do want to go out and party. There's not. You can find bars anywhere in Thailand, but it's not like here. Iowa, American. I used to spend a lot of time in Iowa when I drove trucks. So you've been in China for 13 years as an American. What's like? How are you staying there long term? Oh, you said you were married, right? So your wife is Chinese? Is that correct? I gotta pee again. Be right back. Fucking. Got it. All right. LOL. So have you been to the biggest truck stop in the world then? Of course, bro. Iowa 80? Come on. That's a must stop every time you're there. The buffet they have in there, I used to tear that shit up. And all the little trinkets and everything you could ever want to buy for your truck. Yeah, I used to, every time I was driving that route, because that's the 80, right? Yeah. I used to drive the 80 a lot. So every time I was going through there, I'm stopping there. I really liked it too because it's just the parking. There's always somewhere to park. That's like the biggest struggle as like an over-the-road truck driver is where you're going to park at night. And so yeah, the big old truck stop. The only thing that would suck is sometimes like if you get there late, you got to park in like the very back lot and it's like a fucking mile walk all the way to the building. They have the museum there too, which was actually really fucking cool. Bunch of like trucking history stuff. I like museums, so I thought that was sweet. I remember the showers and stuff being really nice. Just in general, as far as like truck stops go, it was actually a nice truck stop. I really liked it because of the buffet, like a restaurant with real food that wasn't Denny's. Because most of like all the other truck stops all over the States, like the only real food you're going to be able to get is Denny's. And granted, I like Denny's, but after 2 months on the road, how much Denny's can you really eat? If not, it's like Carl's Jr., you know what I mean? Or you're eating straight like shitty food. Check the Chinese Trump guy is funny. Oh, the Tony with LC sign. Yeah, he's funny. He was just on somebody's stream not too long ago. I Show Speed, maybe? And he made him a bunch of signs. Yeah, I want to get like a Tempus TV LED at some point, so maybe I'll hit him up. Iowa's underrated in general, not gonna lie. Minus tornadoes, I like the weather. Being from Arizona, anywhere where it rains consistently, I'm about it. I went through some storms in that part of the country. Holy shit, dude. Like, I'm not scared of thunderstorms, but some of them are fucking crazy. Not Tony, there's a guy from Chengdu who does Trump impersonations. I feel like I've seen him too. I'm just gonna Google Chinese Trump guy. Chinese Trump. Trump by Ryan. He's fucking million followers. Oh yeah, I've seen this guy. Jesus, fucking 700K followers. He's got over 1 million on Red Note. That's insane, dude. You imagine the brand deals you could get with 200 or 2 million followers? Like, I know people I know that are like around like 100K subscribers. They can charge like $1,000 for each brand deal. So imagine if you had 2 million, charge like 10 or 15 grand for a brand deal. I think Mr. Beast, let's see. Mr. Beast it's crazy. What does Mr. Beast charge for brand deals? Mr. Beast charges between $2.5 million and $3 million for a single brand deal, specifically a shout out in a video. $3 million. That's fucking nuts. I mean, if you think about it though, his videos get like 350 million views, no problem. Compared to like the Super Bowl, what's the Super Bowl get? Like 100 million? So yeah, it kind of makes sense. That's wild. We have a laser cutting business if you need something to be made to bring over in September. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Between the bike and, oh man. My friend's kid has 5 million followers on Chinese TikTok. Soft brand deal is like 10K USD. Fucking Jesus, dude. Jesus. I'm posting on Red Note now, which is like Chinese Instagram, but I haven't gained any traction. I think I've only got like 15 followers. 16. It's hard. I don't know if I should be, because I see a lot of people on there posting in English, but I would imagine I should probably post with at least like Chinese subtitles. But if you're speaking English, I haven't found a way to transcribe that in Chinese subtitles yet. If you're speaking English, it's English subtitles, you know? I guess I could like copy the whole transcript and do it like that. I don't know. That seems like a lot of extra work. I really wanted to go to Wahan, but the wife is scared of remote locations. It's only like 30 minutes from Bangkok, isn't it? It's not that far out there. And it's like a whole city. It's not really like you're out in the bumfuck nowhere. How's the traffic police? Can you speed and do some wheelies and get away with it? I would say no. Still against the law. Saw somebody got arrested. Yeah, I saw a guy the other day was doing wheelies and they caught him on CCTV and went and busted him. Anything that would be like reckless, I'd probably avoid it, especially like on the streets. I could imagine if you like went to like an empty parking lot or something somewhere, you could probably like practice some wheelies in there and nobody would really fuck with you. But yeah, there's been so much shit going on lately with all the crazy tourist stuff. And I know in Phuket, like tourists being assholes on motorbikes is been a real problem. And Thai people are getting fed up with it. So I would imagine that you're probably going to get fucked with. It's, you know, it's hard to say. I would imagine if you're a foreigner doing a wheelie down the street and a cop sees you, he's going to stop you. Or, you know, even speeding. Like, the thing about it is when you're riding around, a lot of the time you rarely see cops on the street. So in that sense, but if they see you, you're going to get stopped. If they see you in general, you're probably going to get stopped. But wife logic, yeah. Tons of couples, lots of Scandinavians. 4 hours from Bangkok in a minivan. Has a train set. Hua Hin, is it really 4 hours? There's no way. I thought it was about the same as Pattaya. Damn, yeah, 3. It says, Google Maps says 3 hours. Oh, it's a bit further down than I thought. Yeah, 200 kilometers. Yeah, that's about double what it is from Pattaya. I think Pattaya is like 130 or 140, something like that. Yeah, and this is just Google, so with traffic and stuff, yeah, damn, I didn't realize it was that far. Seems like a nice place for relaxing vacation, but the wife logic doesn't compute. So that's the thing is, which do you want? Do you want quiet and chill, or do you want in the mix? You're not going to be able to get both. Not a ton of big YouTubers here except Nina and Johnny. There is something happening. Never see GoPros on the street with people filming ever. I really don't even see like people out filming here. Not very often. Granted, I'm not like on Pattaya Beach very often anymore. So I'd imagine there's some more people over there. But and two, when I'm online, like I'm rarely watching Thailand content and even more rarely watching Pattaya content. It's just like so much of my brain power and time is already wrapped up in that. When I have free time to just watch whatever, that's like the last thing I want to watch. We made some hats with it. We made Sam some hats with his logo engraved on some leather pouches a couple of trips ago. Also done some leather glasses for NDTV. That's cool. If I had a YouTube channel here, I'd be one of the very, very few Westerners doing it. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. The only thing is, like, I've noticed too, the longer I've been creating, ideally, you want to make content that, especially if you're doing like travel or expat content, you know what I mean? You want to make stuff that is interesting to those people. Like if you're in Hua Hin, for example, you want to make content that is interesting for people that are coming to Hua Hin. But if you want as much success as possible, you have to try to bridge the gap from people that are interested in going there and people that have never heard it. You know what I mean? Like with a lot of my stuff now, I'm consistently trying to find a balance between making stuff that people who are already interested in Thailand, people that are already coming, things that they want to watch, as well as people who have maybe never even thought about coming to Thailand, or they're not coming to Thailand, they're just interested in whatever the video is about. You know what I mean? Looking back at my videos that have done especially well, that's usually what kind of the structure is. It's interesting for people that are interested, and it's ideally you want to pull some people in as well. I like Samui though. I don't drive a motorcycle. I'm not sure I could live on Samui. Yeah, if I tell everybody that is if you can ride a bike and you're comfortable riding a bike, that just opens up your options for where you can stay just tenfold. You could show the real Pattaya, not just walking street, because it has so much more than that. Yeah, I try, a lot of my videos, I try to kind of focus on other stuff besides just the party aspect. Granted, that is a big point of interest for a decent amount of people coming here, so I still have to make that content every once in a while. But and the thing about it is too, is there's already so many like content creators talking about that side of it. And I don't want to get pigeonholed into only making, you know, nightlife content. We were actually in one of Sam's videos, last videos, at the Open Range Zoo. Huh, that's cool. Let's see what is going on in the world of Thailand today. Get you guys over here real quick. Boom. Boom. Pow. Got it. All right. If you guys are looking for news when you're in Thailand, I really like Bangkok Post. Granted, it's kind of hard to find any news that's not really biased, but booze ban eased on Buddhist holidays. What the hell? That's a thing? I know they were talking about that. Thailand will allow alcoholic beverage sales on 5 Buddhist holidays in some places, including international airports. International airports, nightlife venues, hotels, and places hosting national or international holiday events on 5 key days of Buddhism. So it looks like you can still go to the club. Dude, it's impossible for me to keep up with all the holidays. There's so many of them. Greatly benefit businesses in the tourism industry. The ban remains in place except for some businesses which are permitted to serve alcohol. Roadside food stalls, convenience store, restaurants, and supermarkets are not included in the new announcement. They cannot sell alcohol. So, on these days, you can still go to the club. You can buy it in the airport. Huh. Okay. Dude, the ads on all these sites is insane. Do they will ban weed yet, or is it just talk? I haven't seen anything. It seemed like last year, like the second half of last year, everybody was talking about it, but I haven't seen anything recently. Oh shit! Here we go. Another person arrested. Australian arrested in Pattaya after compatriot robbed of 21 million baht. Suspect found at luxury villa in Banglamung with 2 lions roaming his property. What the hell? Several BB guns were also found. What the hell? Suspect held a Thai privilege card. Oh, that's those are expensive, dude. The Thai privilege card is like millions of baht. Robbed cash and crypto worth 21 million baht. What is that? 21 million baht. 3.5 million is 100 grand. Damn, that's a lot, dude. broke into a villa in the Chalong area of Phuket and forced the victim to transfer 2 million baht into Billy's bank account. The robbers also took 10.5 million baht in cash and threatened to Philip not to file a police complaint. How are you going to have the guy, how are you going to rob the guy and then have him transfer the money into your account? That doesn't seem very smart to me. 10.5 million baht in cash. That's insane. What do you get for a 10-year visa? The privilege card, it depends. They've got different different tiers. There's different ones you can get for different amounts of time, different perks, different benefits. I actually got a video coming out pretty soon that breaks it all down in detail. Everything you get, what it entails. If you got the money for it and you want to stay in Thailand long term, it is a pretty sweet deal. You don't have to, if you get that, you don't have to worry about anything that us cretins do. Oh yeah, I saw this the other day too. American tourist arrested in Phuket with 5 ADHD pills. Whoops. Come on, it said stop the tourist for a search while riding a motorcycle without a license plate. Oh shit. That's not good, man. That's something to understand if you are coming to Thailand. Like the search and seizure laws that we have in America don't apply here. Cops can search you anytime they want. There's nothing, they don't need like probable cause or any of that shit. They can just walk up, tell you to empty your pockets. So that's something to think about if you're coming here. And don't do that. The other one is like, what will happen here sometimes is the police will do raids on nightclubs. So what will happen is you'll be there getting your party on or whatever. The cops will come in like 40 deep. They'll just tons of police, immigration, everybody. They'll go through, they'll start checking everybody's passports, all the foreigners, making sure your visa's good. If it's not, you're getting arrested. And the other thing they do is they drug test everybody. So even if you're just at the club, you haven't done anything, you're just hanging out, they will walk in and they will make you piss in a cup. If you drop dirty, it is the same as getting caught with drugs. Same exact thing. It's not like in America where you actually have to get caught with the drugs. No. If you piss dirty, just as bad. And what they'll do is they'll come inside and they'll grab people and then they'll take people out 3 or 4 at a time, go out, make them open their bikes, make them open their cars, you know what I mean? So I tell a lot of people, like, if you're into the party favors, not the place to do it. Leave it at home. That's why you should always carry 20,000 baht in a brown envelope. The thing is, a lot of the time in Thailand, it is pay to play. If you throw some money around, things can happen. But with certain things, it's either not going to work or it's going to get real expensive real quick. And drugs is one of them. Thailand does not play when it comes to drugs. I have nerve damage. I have some hard meds. I don't think I can bring them to Thailand. You can definitely look it up. Double, triple check if you want to bring them. But also, medical care is so easy here. If anything, if you can bring your medical records with you, you could just go to a clinic here, see a doctor, and then they could probably just subscribe. Jesus Christ. They could probably just prescribe them to you here. And a lot of stuff too, you can buy over the counter. If it's like crazy, real, like, you know, opiates or anything like that, I don't think you can buy those over the counter. But a lot of stuff you can just walk in the pharmacy and buy it. I know I've seen recently a couple people have gotten in trouble with that too,
because they were like on a trip. They were going all over Asia, and they came to Thailand, bought some meds over the counter, and then left Thailand and went to, you know, Indo or Philippines or something with those meds and got busted because it's not a prescribed medication. And some, especially in Indo's really crazy when it comes to drugs as well. So yeah, they're getting busted for that, which would suck. Four meds, two are opioids. Yeah, I probably, if it was me, I wouldn't bring them. Granted, if you really need them, I could understand that that would probably be a bit nerve-wracking and uncomfortable. But I would assume you could come here and get an exam and they'll be able to give them to you here. Especially if you can bring like your legit medical record showing that, hey, this is what's going on. This is what I have. This is what I've been prescribed back home. I need a prescription here. I gotta pee again. Oh, wait. Speaking of opioids, I was watching a dude that one of my favorite motocross racers when I was a kid. He just did a podcast the other day and he was talking about getting injured and he was on like a serious amount of opioids for like 6 months. And he was talking about like the side effects of it. It's saying like, because I knew that opioids can definitely make you constipated. And he was talking about he didn't shit for like a month and had to like go to the hospital and like get it like dug out. Fuck, that sounds so terrible. Being constipated is the worst feeling. Thinking to do surgery in Thailand next year. I don't have to stay about 45 months. Like you said, they must have them in Thailand, probably much cheaper than here too. Cost me $470 a month for those medicines. And I'm assuming that's with insurance, right? That's fucking insane. Insane. Yeah, the surgery and the meds are 100% going to be cheaper here. From what I understand, like the quality of care here is just much better too. So when I crashed my bike and I tore my ligament in my collarbone. I had already done it before, so as soon as I like sat up after crashing, I was like, God damn it. And with this, unless it's a grade 2 tear where you tear it on both sides, then you have to get surgery. But if you only tear it on one side, you can get the surgery, but it's not really necessary. So I wanted to go to the hospital just to get the scan and make sure I didn't tear it on both sides. Got a ambulance ride to the hospital, which is free. The ambulance in Thailand is free, which is how it should be. Got the ride there. Got cleaned up by the nurses, which like I had road rash and stuff all over me, so they cleaned all that. Got x-rays and I'm pretty sure it's an MRI, but the scan to see the ligaments. Got both of those. Got seen by the doctor. They reset it to a point to try to just get it into a good spot to where it would heal okay. And sling, all that, was in and out of the hospital after like 2.5 hours with meds. I didn't even have to go to the pharmacy to get pain meds. They just gave them to me there. All of that in and out in like 2 or 3 hours. It cost me 4,000 baht, I'm pretty sure. Something like that. So like $130. It blew my mind. When the ambulance first showed up, I refused to get in the ambulance. Because like I was okay, but I mean I was hurting, but I was like, I'm good. I'll call a taxi, whatever. And the ambulance, like the EMT guys were so confused. And I was with a girl, luckily, and she was like, why don't you just go with them? Why don't you want to go with them? And I was like, I don't want to pay for it. I'll just pay for a taxi. And they were like, yo, it's free. Like their minds were so blown that I just assumed I had to pay for the ambulance. They're like, dude, it's free. It's like, what the? All right, let's go. And there was 2 EMTs. One put me in the back. He drives the truck back. The other EMT got my bike, and he followed us with my bike and then parked my bike outside the hospital. So I could just, when I got out, I just hopped on my bike with my arm in a sling with a busted wing. Luckily, then I had an automatic bike. So I was just drove all the way back, drove back to my condo, and then just partied more. Had a friend like bring over booze. Pretty wild. Outer Cast, I'm from Cambodia. Hello. Michael Elliott, what's up, dude? 420 here in Michigan. Old reliable. Old reliable. Oh, God. The instant coffee in Thailand is very good compared to America. But when it gets cold, not so much. Not so much. Oh, God. I'm glad that's over. Media kit. I can delete that. Put the fresh one in here. I can delete. No, stop. I can delete you. I can delete you. I can delete you. I can delete you. Sorry, I'm just making some space on the computer real quick. Man, memory space is a constant struggle for me. I do all the videos in 4K, so it's just like a 4K 10-minute video is like 6 or 7 gigs. Whoa. You go there. You go there. You can stay there. All right. 420 here in Michigan. That's what I'm talking about. I got some weed yesterday. It's insane. I wanted to watch Chernobyl, the HBO series, and I took one bong rip and then like sat down and started watching it, and like it gave me such anxiety, like watching Chernobyl at the beginning when all the guys are getting exposed to the radiation for the first time and they're getting like the gnarly burns and they just like start bleeding out of nowhere. I was just like, oh God, so fucking terrifying. Yes, sir. Still going. Still going. It's still pretty early here. I started a little bit earlier today. I usually try to get in and out before like 1 because I don't know if you guys can tell. It's like clockwork here. This time of year is like 3 o'clock. Pretty much starts raining every day. What strain? It's so hard here because I don't think most of the time the strains they say it is what it is. But I got some stuff called Black Cherry Punch. It's good though. It smells insane. I'm a big as long as it's indica, I'm cool. Yeah, it smells really good. A thing that I was dealing with when I first got here is people were using the spray. Yeah, it smells super good. They were using this, like, there's this spray you can buy that smells like weed, and if you have shitty weed, you just open the bag and spray it in there. So that I was getting that a lot when I was here. You would get it, smell, and you're like, damn, this smells like so strong, but not in the right way. And then you have it for like 4 or 5 days, and then it doesn't smell like anything anymore, or it just smells like grass. The documentary is insane. Yeah. I watched another one not too long ago. That was the documentary was more about like the recovery, like what they had to do in the months after to like try to get it back to where people could possibly live there at some point. But yeah, it was pretty fucking crazy. Have some gummies that are next level. Better than what yeah. Dude, I'm so sketchy. Like edibles a lot of the time. I don't really like doing anything where it's like you take it and you're fucking committed. At least like if you smoke too much, you got to just like relax for like a half an hour, eat some food, and then you'll feel better. You overdo it on edibles, fuck, you're along for the ride. The Days on Netflix is interesting. It's about the Fukushima meltdown. Did you hear about the fungi they found there? Oh my God. And of all places too. It's gonna get some fucking Godzilla shit going on. My stomach cannot digest THC. I don't get high from edibles. It sucks. I feel like I get especially high from edibles. Yeah, especially here. So the only thing about like Thailand weed that I think would be very good for their industry to improve on is like product testing. Because if you don't know, in the States, like any dispensaries and stuff, they have to take all their product to a third party, and that third party tests it to make sure there's not any mold or like dangerous pesticides, all that stuff. That's not a thing here. So that's the only thing I get worried about is like, especially here because of the, like the climate. I grew weed for a long time too. The climate here just breeds molds and bugs, you know what I mean? So I imagine a lot of them they're using some pretty crazy pesticides. And with certain pesticides too, it might not be inherently dangerous for you if it was like on fruit and you were eating it, but when you burn it, it's a completely different thing. So that's a bit nerve-wracking. But I just try to buy stuff that at least looks like it was, you know, cured, decent quality. And there's particular smells too. There's like a certain mold smell. Can you grow a plant there? Is that legal? I'm pretty sure. God, dude, I see plants growing all the time. There used to be a place on Beach Road right here that it was like an old business, so it's a all glass front business, and they had like a little dispensary, but they had their grow op right there too. Like you're walking down the sidewalk and you turn and there's just 50 plants growing under high pressure sodium lights. It was crazy, but it's not there anymore. I'll look up if you can grow a plant here. You grow your own weed in Thailand. You can grow, store, and sell cannabis in Thailand, but you can't use it recreationally. What? What? No, you can grow, store, and sell cannabis, but you can't use it that can't be right. Here it's saying you can't grow it as a foreigner. Let me try to reframe this. Can you have personal weed plants in Thailand? Cultivation. In order to cultivate cannabis, individuals must register with the country's Food and Drug Administration. I would imagine if you're just trying to sell. There are currently no restrictions on how many plants each individual can cultivate. It seems pretty vague. They don't use LED. Yeah, I've seen a lot of grows here that still use high pressure sodiums, which is insane to me. They're not as stable. They're harder to control. They put off way more heat. And it's just like they suck way more electricity, especially being so close to China. Like, why don't you guys just go LED? Way cheaper and pretty much just as good. But prostitution's also illegal. Right. Yeah, it's one of those things, like, I'm not saying you should, but I would imagine if you got a couple plants at home, it's probably not too big of a deal. No quality control regulations at all. In Thailand, the problem is people who know nothing about cannabis. Right. Yeah, that's the only thing that's kind of a bummer. I think there definitely needs to be some type of testing regulations. And that ends up helping the market too, because then only higher quality stuff ends up being in circulation. Be great if you have a big greenhouse and it's sunny every day. All you need is dehumidifiers and solar, powered by air conditioners, and you're set. Get money. Yeah, the only thing that sucks with that though is if you're just using sunlight, you can't control the process that the plant is in. It'll grow a bit and then it'll automatically start flowering because it's getting big changes in light and dark. The nice thing about using your own lights indoor is when you're first growing it, you can just leave the light on for 10 hours a day. And then you're tricking the plant into thinking that it still needs to grow bigger and bigger. So you get your plants as big as possible, then you switch it, then you go to like 8 hours off in the dark, and then that tells them to start flowering. So your yields are just way bigger. You can go throw a plant in the ground outside and it'll grow and it'll make buds, but it's all about quality control and trying to get the best you can out of it. That's another thing with here is like, you see the strains that people have listed and they're like, oh, like OG Kush, 25% THC. And you're like, I doubt it. That might be what OG Kush is capable of getting to, but 25%, I call BS. Some of them now, it'd be like, oh, 35%. 18 hour for veg? Hell, nah, bro. 22 and 2. That was my system. 22 and 2, and then I took 12 and 12 for bud. Or at that point, it doesn't really matter as long as it's getting 8 or more hours in the dark. But I mean, I know people that for veg, 24 hours, never turn the lights off. The only reason in all reality, the only reason I turned mine off was to just keep power costs and help with heat soak. Because if they're just on constantly, obviously heat becomes an issue even with LEDs. But if you're going outside, that plant is already on 12 and 12, so it doesn't have a chance to get very big before it starts to bud. Outdoor plants are 5 times, yeah, but that doesn't necessarily, because a lot of outdoor plants are multiple generations. Most people that grow indoor, they grow, flower, cut the whole plant down. A lot of people that do outdoor, they just take partial harvests and then keep growing the plant. Because you have to. If you were going to cut it down as soon as it flowered with an outdoor plant, it'll never have the chance to get that big because it's essentially going to start flowering after like a month. There's stress with 24. Yeah, that's what can happen. It's not really the light that becomes the stressor. It becomes other things that come from the light, usually heat, That's the big one. It's like it's hard not to heat soak your plants if you're out, if your lights are on 24. Way back in the day when I had a setup, I used to start, oh, Matilda, what's up, dude? Used to start on 20 and 4. Yeah. Most of it, like the guys I learned from, they're like, as long as it's more, or 18 hours or more of light for veg. At that point, you don't, I think it's one of those things that it might depend on particular strains but there's not really a right or wrong way. It's like the whole argument about substrates. You got the guys who are cocoa husk, you got the guys who are soil, you got the guys who would do ferts, you know what I mean? It all works, but some people have better results with certain ones. So that's what they swear by. That's like, growing is the easy part, at least for me. Like growing a big plant and getting big buds was like easy. The thing that took me a long time and a lot of fuck ups to learn was like proper curing, like how to actually dry and get stuff good, avoid mold, keep good terps, have good flavors. That's what took me a long time to learn. I fucked up, probably 8 or 9 harvests before I got like decent at curing. That was for Northern Lights, if you remember that. Yeah, that's a back in the day. Northern Lights and Blue Dream were like the first legitimate like chronic strains that I tried. I still love Blue Dream, and I'm usually an indica guy, but like good Blue Dream, fire. Really good flavor too. Is there a poppy trade in Thailand? I heard Laos has a big drug trade. Is there a golden triangle? Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's still a thing, but from what I understand, it's not as much poppies anymore. Now it's like glass, meth. That's like the big part. I don't know if I'm pretty sure poppies are illegal here. Yeah, it's illegal here. Damn, it's been illegal since 1958. Soil is king. I like soil too. The only thing, issues I had with soil is it's easier to get bugs because you've got other biomes going on in the soil, which is good for the plant. Like you need bacteria and stuff in there. But yeah, I was more inclined to have issues with bugs. Cocoa's like growing on steroids. Yeah, I did like a 60-40 cocoa soil. Just because the way, I don't like with my plants, my big thing was like, leave them alone. Don't be in there fucking with them every day. If you're constantly fucking with them, you're going to stress them out. So I couldn't go full cocoa because then you have to water like every day. The only time I would go full cocoa is if I had like some type of nutrient issue and needed to rinse the plants. Then I would go put them in full cocoa, give them 2 or 3 waters to kind of clean them out, and then go back to soil. Thoughts on living in Cambodia? Do you think it's safe? I hear mixed reviews. Kind of same, honestly. I've heard some people swear by it. I've heard other people say no. I think compared to Thailand, it's a little bit more dangerous, although I can't really say. I've never really spent time there. I do know it's cheaper. You can get like some sweet condos and houses for pretty cheap. I have a lot of friends who really enjoy Phnom Penh, but I haven't been myself. Thailand have, yeah, the Hitler pills here, they call it Yaba. Yeah, it's like these little orange pills, I think. Pretty common. The thing about it here too is like, it's not like in the States where like you see like drug abuse all the time. Like you see people out and about and you see tweakers and shit everywhere. Apparently it's a pretty big problem here, but you don't really like see it out on the streets too often. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, I drank so much coffee. I gotta pee again. I'll be right back. get some more sunlight in here, huh? What do you say? Damn. Fucking big ass storm over there. It's gonna rain. Flush. Yeah, my bad. Let me catch up here. Mentioning did a lot of psychedelics allegedly. You ever do 5-MeO DMT? That I have. I've actually got some really funny stories with 5-MeO. One of them, the first time I ever tried it, I just did it. I put it on top of some weed. Did that, fine, had a good experience. Forgot that I had used it in that bong. And then the next day went to just smoke some weed. And I thought I was fucking dying. I was like, what the? And it was like brand new weed. So I thought I had gotten like some crazy lace shit or something. I was like, what the fuck? My girlfriend at the time, luckily, was like, no, it's the same bong. Another one, actually one of my last trips that I took in the States before I came here, for my friend's birthday, we went to Zion National Park in Utah. And we went like hiking the first day, and then that night we're chilling around the campfire. We just made dinner, whatever, finished that. And he's like, yo, I got some 5-MeO. You want to do it? We're like, hell yeah. So we both did it. And then literally like 5 minutes later, we're like in our camping chairs, you know, just like chilling, looking up at the stars. We didn't know what it was at the time, but afterwards we figured out that Starlink, dude, Starlink, like the whole row of satellites went right above us. And we weren't tripping. It was definitely there, but we had no idea what it was. We were fucking freaking out. Like, what the fuck is that? It was crazy. And then I think like the next day, my buddy was like, dude, I think that was Starlink. We saw Starlink. I was like, what the fuck? It's so weird. Only other Southeast Asia country. Hold on. Sorry. Let me catch up. Southeast Asia I live in is Philippines. Hospital in Philippines are terrible though, relative to Thailand. Yeah, that's the only real complaint I've heard with people from the Philippines is the infrastructure isn't quite as good. But I would like the Philippines too. I'm actually going there in July, so we'll be able to know for sure. I'm terrified from it. I like psychedelic mushrooms, pretty amazing. The only edibles I get high from. See, I'm the opposite. I don't like mushrooms. Acid was cool. I like acid. Mushrooms was the only thing I ever really took where I felt like I didn't have any semblance of control. Like even with acid, like there's times I'd be fucking deep, 2-3 tabs deep in a night, and I could still like focus on something if I needed to. I'd still be tripping, but I could like, oh, if I have to go get something or I have to answer the door or something, I could still do it. With mushrooms, I was just like, you thought you saw aliens. Yeah, exactly, dude. And it was like, it's not like a normal satellite. Like most satellites you see, they're going super fast. So you can watch them for like maybe a minute or two, and then they're gone over the horizon. But the Starlink ones, I don't know if it's because they're lower or what, but dude, it was over us for so long. And it wasn't like kind of out towards the horizon. It was literally right above us. It was wild. Sounds like shrooms all right. Yeah. I remember one time I was with my friends in Mission Beach. And we did a lot, man. I think each of us took like a quarter of mushrooms. Middle of the day, summertime, Mission Beach, just families and like tourists and stuff everywhere. And we were like, dude, we were gone. Like the seagulls hopping had trails behind them, and we're just laughing, uncontrollable laughing, all of us. And like on Mission Beach too, with all the houses, a bunch of the houses have these like crazy, like imported plants that look super wild already. And dude, that was an experience. And then like somebody wanted to eat, and we had like cup of noodles in the car because we were on a road trip. Somebody wanted to eat cup of noodles, so we needed to get a microwave. So we went to a Ralph's, which is like a grocery store. Then we ended up all getting like split up, and we were probably in there for 10 minutes. It felt like we were in there for 3 hours. And we were just like, finally, I just like came to, I'm like, Yo, we're looking for a microwave in a grocery store. There's no fucking microwave in here. What are we doing? Ugh, yeah, it was a lot. Perfect measurements are 5 to 8 grams. Anything above that is, yeah. I mean, even for me, dude, a quarter, 7 grams, that's a lot. It's hot, it's cold, it's hot, it's cold. Never laugh as much. Yeah, it gets to the point where you laugh so much it fucking becomes painful. Like your cheeks start hurting. Any day now. I would really like to finish this sponsor video. Waiting for one more approval. What? What? Almost done. I finally got the video approved. Now I'm just waiting on approval for the title and the description. It's been a mission, dude. It has been a mission. It's been a few months, at least. The email thread going back and forth between the sponsor with like revisions and stuff is over 100 emails. It's a lot. Did you spill the beans? Let you spill the beans, don't have women's around. We need to, Jesus, are you on mushrooms right now? Holy hell. Man, the only thing, I'm going to Philippines in July. The only thing that's a bit of a bummer is I will be gone when the Bangsan Grand Prix is going. Which kind of sucks. That's like my second favorite motorsport event of the year. Is super cool. If you guys like car stuff, you should definitely go check it out. Called 911 on myself. Oh my God. Got pulled over by cops on LSD for expired reg. Was peaking, didn't even get a ticket. Oh my God. That's the thing. Like, I've been on acid before and been fucking tripping, but still like can like keep it together, you know? We did one time, we were out camping and we thought somebody was hungry, so we left the campground and drove like 45 minutes into town to go to like, I think it was like Arby's or something. Then we got to the drive-thru. There's like 5 of us in the car. We're like, all right, like, who's hungry? What do you want? Nobody in the car. Everybody's like, I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. I was like, what the fuck are we doing here? Why are we here? And like eating on acid is so miserable. We ended up just getting like ice cream and like one thing of French fries. And I was tripping so hard, like trying to eat a French fry. It was fucking miserable, dude. Not fun. Mechanic, love cars, love motorsports shenanigans. That's why I was asking about traffic police. Yeah, I mean, I would avoid doing it on the streets if you can. And God forbid you run into somebody or something, you are going to get held to a specific standard since you're a foreigner. But I would imagine if you're somewhere where you're not going to possibly cause an accident or something, you'll probably be okay. As long as you're not tearing shit up. CB has a great car. He definitely, yeah, I mean, you've got to, yeah, if you have a V8 wide body, you're gonna speed. But there are, like, don't get it confused. There's speed cameras in certain places in Thailand. Yeah, I've seen, you can get a ticket for speeding and it does happen. The only thing that doesn't really happen in Thailand compared to home it does, but very rarely, is you getting pulled over while driving. Like, it's very rare that you're going to be driving down the road and a cop is going to get behind you and pull you over. That doesn't happen too often. That's just not really how they operate. A lot of the speed cameras I've seen, especially going up towards like Isan, what'll happen is you'll be driving, there'll be a camera. If you're speeding, it'll take your picture, and then like a mile down the road, there'll be a checkpoint. So as soon as you're speeding, the cops have like a stream right there. They see you speeding. Then when you pull up, they'll make you pull into this little place and get out, and then you'll have a ticket. That's usually how it works. I've gotten stopped while riding a couple times on my bike, but I was like sitting at a light, and then the cop will pull up next to you and be like, hey, like pull over there. But yeah, I've never really seen somebody actually get like pulled over. Microdosing, you don't even get high from it, less than a half a G. Yeah, a lot of people swear by microdosing. I could definitely see that, especially for a lot of people that have like traumatic brain injuries and stuff. That's when I see it really often, I feel like. I could definitely see that, or if like you have like some type of like mood issues, you know what I mean? If you're prone to like depression or anxiety. Because one of my favorite things about doing psychedelics is how I felt the next day. I would always say it in a sense that I would wake up the next day, and you know when you like buy that fresh sponge to like do your dishes, you got the old crusty one you've been using for a while, and you get that fresh clean one, and it's just really nice. That's what my brain feels like the day after I do a decent amount of psychedelics. I just I'm in a good mood, and I'm just ready to like absorb good shit. Good for PTSD. Yeah, exactly. Is mushrooms legal in Thailand? From what I understand, it's kind of like a gray area, I think. I know there's places where you can find them pretty consistently, but yeah, from what I understand, I don't think it's necessarily legal. Give me 1 second, guys. Just catching up on some commentes here. Man, the comments on that recent video are pretty wild. A lot of people are not fans of Israel. I'm completely checked out on that whole thing. I don't even know what the deal is really, but fucking crazy. Exactly. Next day and the second day is, yeah, for sure. Especially compared to like how you feel after you went out drinking, man. And it's like, I tell people kind of the same thing. It's like, oh, I'm worried about a bad trip. Even a bad trip, once you're out of it, ends up being a good trip. Because there's nothing that can give you like perspective and appreciation on your life as feeling like you're gonna die, you know? Psychedelics is the best medicine for mental health, depression, anxiety, PTSD. I would agree. The only thing that I kind of tell people is like, especially if you are not used to doing them, or if it's like your first time or something, if you're in a bad headspace, it might not be a good idea to go like super deep. You know what I mean? If you're like already depressed or stressed out about stuff in your life, and then you take a couple tabs of acid or even one, and you've never done it before, definitely a meltdown is likely. Now, granted, you have that meltdown, and then the next day, you're probably going to feel a lot better. But in the moment, not fun. So now we're talking about, yeah, let's try to circle away from the drug talk. I don't want to get in trouble. What is up with these girls on Thai Friendly? Has anyone met these girls? I don't know about Thai Friendly, but I've met up with a few girls from like Tinder and stuff. From what I understand, I think Thai Friendly is a lot of girls that are looking for customers, if you know what I mean. Wouldn't trust dating app dudes because makeup filters, a lot of Yeah, I mean, I've met quite a few that are not what they look like in person. I tell everybody, dude, the best way to meet girls here is just be out and about and don't be scared to go talk to girls. Doesn't mean every girl you talk to is going to be interested or you're not going to get shot down, but you're not going to get, you know, ripped to pieces or treated like a fucking creep like you would in America. Granted, be respectful, be a gentleman, but yeah, you could still approach women, you know what I mean, and strike up a conversation. That's the best way to do it. Seems like 99% in Pattaya are working in some way. Yeah, I feel like it's definitely been more. When I first got here, like I met plenty of girls that weren't interested in that. Now it's like, I feel like it's gotten a bit harder. Granted, a lot of that comes from where you're trying to meet them. You know, if you're just on dating apps or going to bars and stuff, sure, obviously. But yeah, if you're going like out and about, there's plenty of normal girls who just like work at coffee shops and stuff. Talk to them. Yeah, and it's super easy. Like, even if a girl might not be interested, it's really easy to like get an Instagram or a line, you know what I mean? That used to be like my go-to. It's like I would just meet a girl, get her line, and then next time I'm out, just invite them out. Man, everything is up right now. Instagram is doing really well too. Fucking stoked. You guys rule. I've got my best reel so far coming up on 250,000 likes, 4 million plays. I need some of those views on YouTube so I can get paid. The only thing about Instagram is like you can get donations, but that's pretty much it. There's no like ad revenue. So you can get 100 million views a month and not make anything. Only place I've been where it's acceptable to just say where you go, no name. Yeah, you don't really need game. I just like, if it's a girl I actually really want to hang out with, I just tell them that I love them. Easy peasy. What's your name? Where are you going? I love you. Let me come with you. Done. Not looking for a girlfriend. You see all these YouTubers going to iBar. Like, this is the real channel. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of normal girls that go to the clubs and stuff too. You know, there's girls that just want to go out and party, have a fun time. But there are plenty of girls in those places looking for customers as well. What I tell everybody is just get it out in the open so there's no confusion. Be respectful about it, but just ask. Hey, like, are you here having fun or are you here working? That's it. You know what I mean? And if she says she's working, then you can decide what you want to do after that. Philippines is even more next level. Those ladies are just desperate. Desperate in one sense, like working or just like looking for a boyfriend. Very cheap to pay to play. Yeah, I mean, not really my thing, but I can see the allure. You know what I mean? Like, I could see why that's an attractive scenario to some people. Hate to say it, but the poverty level there is pretty next level. Lots of the ladies are just looking for a knight in shining armor. I could get that, yeah. I've noticed that a lot. I saw some guy posting on Facebook the other day here too. He was like, oh, this girl works at the bar and I really love her and I want to get her out of there. No. And I commented, I was like, did you ask? Like, did you ask her if she wants to get out of the bar. I think, especially in Thailand, a lot of these guys think that like every girl that's in those bars is there because, you know, she has to take care of her whole family and she doesn't have other options. No. Which for some girls, yeah, that is the case. They need to take care of their parents or whatever, you know, and they need the money. But not all of them. A lot of them like working there because they make good money. They get to party. Like, you're not just going to rescue. You know, some of those girls don't want to be rescued. That's what they do. Like, there's a lot of girls that have been doing it for a long time because it's relatively easy money. They get really flexible schedules, especially for, like, Thailand, like, work schedules, you know what I mean? They can pretty much come and go as they please. They can take days off, you know what I mean? A lot of jobs in Thailand, like, the hours are fucking crazy. Which visas are the best for Thailand, says Shi Manchu with 22, what is that? TRY? I gotta look that up. Turkish lira? Or is it IRA? Turkish lira. Huh. It's not, yeah, I don't think it's a lot, but geez, that's 22 Turkish lira is 18 baht. It's 50 cents. I didn't realize, I thought Turkey had a pretty strong currency. I guess not. I guess not. Oh, well, it's about the same as baht, I guess. 22 lira is 18. Yeah, it's not terrible. Which visas are the best? It really just, there's so many variables. Like, it's not really like a one answer. You know what I mean? Like, it depends on how old you are, how much money you have, how long you want to stay, if you're going to be going in and out of Thailand, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of variables. Can take the bot bus. Yeah, I mean, a donation is a donation, you know what I mean? I appreciate it. I understand not everybody has a bunch of money to throw around, myself included. But yeah, and a lot of the time I try not to give too much specific visa advice because I would hate to tell you guys one thing and then it not work, you know what I mean? Or God forbid you get in trouble or something. Now, between the DTV and retirement and stuff, there are quite a few options. If you're over 50, retirement. That's just, I think that's the easiest, most attainable one. If you're under 50 and you're wanting to stay long term, it gets a bit more complicated. If you're below 40, just get a language school visa. Yeah, I did a couple of education visas. They work. The only thing that was kind of a bummer for me with the education visa is the re-entry permits. So you can't come and go as you please. Seems like some streamers eventually get a crowd that does donate a lot. Billy Blue got that crowd going in Pattaya. He's been going for a while now with it. Nice. I'm not sure if I've ever heard of that guy. Yeah, I think it's just about, you know, building an audience, trying to provide something that people appreciate. I know quite a few of the guys that do like the nightlife streams too, like they leverage being out and about and like hanging out with the girls. They'll let people donate to like buy the girls drinks and stuff. It's pretty smart. I saw a stream the other day that was these Chinese girls. And essentially the way that it worked, they were like sitting in the middle of a room and there was all these remote control trucks with cameras on them. And you paid per minute to access the camera on the truck and drive it around. And these like super beautiful Chinese women are like sitting there in short skirts. So guys are paying to drive the trucks around and try to like look up their legs and stuff. It fucking blew my mind, the ingenuity. Great idea though. Thanks for your input and content, dude. Much appreciated. It says Harbringer X with the $10 super chat. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. I'm happy you enjoy the content. As always, guys, if there's stuff you want to see, specific videos, I will do my absolute best to make them. Granted, has to be within guidelines. I can't post any crazy shit that's going to get me banned. But don't be afraid, whether it be comments on the videos or in here. I do read probably 95% of comments on the videos. The only ones that I might miss are when you reply to comments that are already there. Sometimes, for some reason, YouTube Studio doesn't show me all of those all the time. But vast majority of the time, I can see pretty much every comment. So don't be afraid to drop anything you want to see down there. Or Instagram as well. If you guys haven't yet, go follow me on Instagram. Shoot me a DM. I keep up really well with those too. Mr. Harbinger X, I appreciate it, brother. Tuna on white, no crust. I could buy a few of them with $10. Or if you have a really pertinent idea too, something you really, really want to see done, you can shoot me an email, but my email's in the description, but please try to keep it, business oriented. That my email is not by any means a mean to just contact, and shoot the shit. But if it's something that you really important or you think a lot of people are wondering about, feel free to slide over there as well. I gotta fucking pee again. I'm trying to hold it. So what's in the works for new content? I've got a pretty good amount of stuff lined up, actually. In a few days, I'll be going out to Bira Circuit, which is the racetrack pretty close to here. The Toyo Racing Series is going to be here, so I'll be out there for that. It's 2 days. I don't know if I'm going to go for both days or not. I'll probably just go for the second day when all the finals are. A bit later this month, I've got 2 videos lined up that are going to be sick as fuck. I'm going to leave it as a surprise, though. I'm not going to tell you what they are. And then July, Philippines. So I'll be in the Philippines for a week, probably, maybe a little bit longer. Cebu, Siargao, and maybe one more place. I'm not sure yet. So those would be sick too. First time in Philippines. I'm excited for that. You guys will be able to see too. I'll do some comparisons and stuff comparing to Thailand. So that's about all I got right now. I've got some more stuff on my calendar, but I really only plan about a month ahead, unless it's like a trip somewhere. Then I'll plan that a little bit further out. But I try not to get too far out because shit changes, If you could eventually specialize in a certain type of content, what would it be? Like how CB broke away and just went all in on cars. Yeah, I think CB, his plan the whole time was to do cars, do what he's doing now. But COVID happened, so none of that shit was going on. So that's why he did the motorbike stuff. And then once things got back to normal, he went back to his initial plan. With me, it's like, it's hard to say. I mean, it sounds kind of lame, but I just want to make videos on stuff that I enjoy, As far as that goes, I really enjoy motorsport stuff. I really like extreme sports too. I hate that name for them, but a big fan of like motocross, surfing, all that. It's just like, I don't really know. I really haven't had something where it's like, I only want to make videos about this. Because the thing that scares me with that is you can get burnt out doing anything, And I don't want something that I really enjoy to just become YouTube videos, you know? Because I still want to enjoy that, obviously. But if it's like you're only thinking content, because I kind of noticed that was happening to me here like a year and a half ago. Everything I did was in the light of YouTube videos. I'm gonna go here and do this and film this and then this and film this and then, and it got to the point I noticed where I wasn't really like enjoying anything. I wasn't appreciating my time here or at these events or whatever. So ideally, I just want to make videos on the shit that I think is cool, and hopefully people like the same shit, and then be informative at the same time. I pretty much just want to make videos that can hopefully help show people that they could do the same thing, or go to these places, or enjoy these things, or spend time here, you know? Seems like the algorithm rewards focused content though. By the way, I know nothing. It can, but I mean, it really just depends. There's a fine line, like you want to niche down so YouTube can help put you in front of the right people. But then if you get so niche, you're just closing the amount of viewers you can have. You know what I mean? Ideally, I would like to make stuff about traveling, because lots of people want to travel. I would say most people want to travel. I really enjoy motorsports. So being able to roll travel content in with motorsports and going to new places and experiencing motorsport culture in different places. I also enjoy like art and outdoor stuff. Like I really like fishing, backpacking, all that shit. So I feel like there's a lot of things that I enjoy where there's people who also enjoy all of those things. Like a lot of guys who enjoy like outdoor stuff, like motorsports as well. Most people that like motorsports want to travel and want to go to Japan and like see all these different places. So I think it's important to niche down to a certain extent, but ideally you want to be niche down, but as broad as possible. So you can entertain a lot of people, you know? Hiking and fishing there would be rad. I don't see any off-grid stuff in Thailand, right? I've been saying it. I've probably reached out to like fishing charters 20 times at this point. Like, hey, I want to go out for the day. I'll pay for the fuel, whatever. I'll film a YouTube video. We'll promote your business, blah, blah, blah. Just take me fishing. And just nobody seems to be interested in it. And fishing charters here are like the one thing I've found that are not cheap at all. Like a half-day fishing charter here is like 5,000 baht per person, which is cheap by American standards, you know, but for Thailand, like 5,000 baht to do anything is like a lot. I gotta pee again. Oh yeah. The ASMR massage and barber stuff is pretty insane there in Southeast Asia. I can't believe the views those dudes get. So strange, right? One of my best friends in America is a barber. And he's like super talented, great barber, good looking dude, like dresses really well. And I was trying to tell him, I'm like, yo, start like making videos, start posting Instagram reels and stuff and like show this off. And like, not only are you going to get more clients for your barbershop, like you can it's just free money just sitting here. And I was like, I even told him, I was like, yo, you just film, pay me like 150 bucks a week and I'll make you 5 or 6 reels a week. And all you got to do is post them and then respond to your DMs and stuff. But he's still like, all right, man. Same thing with like, he's really into vintage clothes too. And I told him the same thing. I'm like, yo, Start shipping that shit over here and we can make bank. Vintage clothes are very popular here and people will pay good prices for American vintage. Dude, just money on the table, man. I don't get it. Let's get paid. It would be amazing because it's a warm country. It's like you're fishing in Florida. A lot of groupers, delicious. Yeah, the only thing about Thailand is a lot of places are severely overfished. So that's why I've been reaching out to like these charters and like the local fishermen guys, because I don't think I'm going to be able to like go out by myself and just find good fishing. Like I feel like I got to go with somebody who knows some of the spots. Like a lot of the commercial fishing here is all like coming from Indonesia. Like they have to go way out there to go catch stuff. It's like even here, like granted, I don't know if it's illegal or what, but you never see people fishing on the beach. Like ever. Don't see fish on the beach, nothing. Granted, especially here in Pattaya, it doesn't seem like a very good fishery because there's not a lot of coral and stuff. There's no place for the fish to really hang out. But yeah, I feel like you would have to go with somebody who knows what the deal is. The channel Shaves and Massages is a dude that travels past Southeast Asia, just gets massaged, has 100K views per video. So that's the thing. Maybe at some point I'll make a channel that is just, you know, for views and just to get paid, you know. Ideally, I would like to make content I enjoy making and get paid, you know. A big thing why I wanted to start a YouTube channel, especially traveling, is so I can have all these videos 40 years from now when I'm an old man and I can look back and be like, oh yeah, I remember that and that trip and that was, you know. So I'd like my content to continue to be enjoyable, you know, because even with YouTube, any job can become a nightmare, you know. And I don't want it to get to the point where I'm dreading making videos. And if I'm making videos just to get views, you're kind of just setting yourself up for failure, at least when it comes to me. Because then if they don't get views, feel like you wasted your time, you know. Now, at least with my channel, if I make a video that I really enjoyed making and it was something that was fun and then it bombs, okay, that sucks I didn't get good views, but that was really fun and now I have that video for me or my kids, you know. Even with all the motorsport stuff, like by comparison, the motorsport stuff on my channel performs very poorly compared to the other stuff that I do. But I really like making those videos and those events are really fun for me. So that's okay. That's the trade-off, you know? I think I'd enjoyed getting paid to get massages. Yeah, you and most people, I think. Dude, especially Thai massages, I don't like it. I'm already like pretty beat up and I've had like a lot of injuries and stuff, so it's just painful. Like it's not enjoyable for me. Means no sharks. Great, I had PTSD from a shark incident in 2013 since that day I didn't swim. Yeah, no shark issues in Thailand. I've seen some videos of some of the islands and stuff where they'll have reef sharks, but very rarely, and reef sharks you don't really have to worry about. Granted, if there's a ton of them and they're like feeding and stuff, you wouldn't want to jump off the boat right into the middle of them. But vast majority of sharks you don't really have to worry about if you're in the water with them. Minus like tiger sharks, bull sharks, great whites, you know what I mean? There's only a few sharks where you like, if you're in the water with them, you should be worried and doing your best to get out of the water. From what I understand, like most of Southeast Asia, like you don't really got to worry about sharks too much. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. For a while, I used to conflate Tempus, keys, and Mac TV. Nice. What am I gonna eat today? I've been cooking a lot past couple weeks. It's been nice, honestly. I hate having to fucking do dishes consistently, but what are you gonna do? Granted, I only have like 10 dishes total, so it's not a huge deal, but nonetheless. All right, we are all caught up on comments. Nice, that's always nice. Back in the day, I went to French Polynesia, and they have a lagoonarium. A dude with a disability was attacked by a 13-foot lemon shark. They kept a 13-foot shark in it. That's a fucking monster of a shark. Not too long ago, there was a guy in Australia. They were doing like a big kayak race. And one of the guys that was kayaking got done by a breach attack from a great white, which is insane. Supposedly, they used to say the only place that great whites did that was in South Africa, where they come up from underneath and they breach out of the top and attack whatever. They're like, oh yeah, they only do that here. Guy in Australia was in a fucking kayak and got hit by one coming up like that. I think he was okay. I know he survived, but I don't even think he really got injured, which is insane. Could you imagine? Could you fucking imagine? So wild. There was another dude not too long ago in northern Australia that got pulled out of his kayak by a crocodile. That's the only, like, granted, if I was in the water with a shark and I saw it, I would be tripped out, especially like a white shark or a tiger shark or anything like that. But when I'm like in the water, normally I'm not thinking about sharks. Now crocodiles, on the other hand, if I was in a place where you told me there was crocodiles in the area, I'm not getting in the water. Even if you say like, oh yeah, like they're not here though, they're only, nope, fuck you. If I had to pick, I feel like I would rather get hit by a shark than a crocodile. Because I think a shark is pretty much trying to kill you and eat you as fast as possible. Like a croc is just gonna take you underwater and like drown you and eat, oh God. Sounds like a really shitty way to go. It looks like, dude, the whole sky outside is just black. Mexico and Costa Rica beaches have crocs. Those are gators, right? I know there's some big ass saltwater crocodiles in Florida now. Like they're seeing fucking big ones. And it's like gators you don't really have to worry about. Crocodiles though, like especially saltwater crocodiles and Nile crocodiles will actively hunt you. Like they see a human, they see food. So that's fucking terrifying. And they're smart too. Like a lot of people feel like reptiles are like dumb. Crocs are fucking smart, dude. There's a kid that I watch from Australia. He does like outdoor survival videos, nature videos, going out and looking for different species and stuff. And him and his buddy were camping in this one place where like they were like close to this creek and there's crocodiles, but they know that. And they went up far enough in this creek where it was like there was only really shallow pools, and then further down it was deep water, and that's where they're like there's crocs there, so we'll stay away from that. They were just chilling around by these shallow pools up top. And they ended up leaving that area for a bit. And they came back later. And as they were walking by a spot where they had walked 5 or 10 times the night before, it was nighttime, they had their lights and they saw the fucking glowing eyeballs in one of the shallow pools. One of the crocodiles that was in the deeper water had seen that they were up here hanging out by the shallow water. So when they left, he climbed out, and went across and then got into one of the shallower pools and was waiting for them to walk by again. That's fucking terrifying. Like actively hunting you. Sharks don't really do that. You know what I mean? Like if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, yes, a shark could possibly eat you. But a crocodile, to see you and knowing that, hey, they're not going to come down here. They know I'm here. So I can go up there and hide when they leave and then they won't think I'm up there. That's insane. Big Crocs guy in Puerto Vallarta was attacked a few years. I feel like I remember seeing something recently where, I'm not sure if it was South America or maybe like Indo, but there was a place where there's like 100% big crocodiles in the water, and all the locals and everybody like were just like, no, there's no crocodiles here. No, no crocodiles. No, nothing. You can go swim, blah, blah, blah. But then there was like 100%. There's big crocodile. Like the guy went to like an estuary that was right there in this river and saw tons of massive crocodiles. But they were like, oh no, they don't come out here. Crocodiles swim out into the ocean all the time. Insane. Crocs are a monster, big cats. Yeah. Anything that will like actively hunt you. Like lions, tigers. Tigers are crazy. Like could you imagine being somewhere with tigers? There's supposedly even Khao Yai has a very small population of tigers. And then on the border with Myanmar, there's a decent amount of tigers. Even there's one place in India, a certain district in India, where it's like very common. Like multiple people a year get eaten by tigers. And there's crocodiles there too. I was there when he was attacked. That's the place where locals say it's fine. Right. Yeah. Thailand has a small population of tigers. From what I understand, like the border Thailand shares with Myanmar, like those like wilderness areas, there's a pretty decent amount. But besides that, I don't think there's too many. A few years ago, there was like some farmer that was out and about. He was out with his dogs doing something. Comes around, sees a tiger, takes off running the other way, runs into another tiger. The tigers were like working together to get this guy. Start taking off. Dude climbs a tree, and unluckily, because he had to watch, but luckily the tigers decided to go after his dogs, killed and ate his dogs like right under the tree while he's hiding in the tree. And they got like shredded his legs pretty good and stuff, but he survived. Could you imagine that? Turning around and running from one tiger and running right into another one? Oh my God. There's that video too of, I'm pretty sure it's in India with the guys on the elephant when they're in like the field with the tall grass and they're out there looking for a tiger that's been fucking with people, and the tiger comes flying out of the grass and jumps all the way as high as they're sitting on the back of the elephant, and the tiger jumps right up to him and tries to like grab him. Insane. There's that one story of I think it was also in India. There's 3 guys in like a canoe in the middle of a river, canoeing down the river, and all of a sudden a fucking tiger jumps into the river on the side, swims out, grabs one guy, swims back in, like kills the guy, takes him back to the shore, drops him, jumps back in the water, swims up, grabs another guy, takes him off, kills him, and then tries to like catch up to get the 3rd guy, but he got away. Could you imagine that? It's just, after the first guy gets munched, and then just seeing that thing fucking swimming back at, oh my God, dude. And tigers are massive too. Like lions are big for sure. But tigers are insane. Tigers are like 400 pounds of just anger and muscle and intelligence. So crazy. If I had to choose though, I think I would rather get got by a tiger than a crocodile. Because cats at least are like, maybe not tigers though, because a lot of cats, like they try to go for the kill as quick as they can because they're used to taking down stuff that's bigger than them. But with a tiger, there's nothing bigger than a tiger. So they might just, or like a grizzly bear. Like grizzly bears don't even try to kill you. They just attack you, incapacitate you, and then start eating you. Watch, oh yeah, of course, Tiger King, baby. Can we like just remember how big of like a national thing that was during COVID? That shit was so crazy. He's still in prison, right? Oh yeah, not scheduled for release until 2036. Damn, he got 21 years. That's a lot, dude. Yeah, that was a fucking wild show, huh? His music videos, bro. His music videos are insane. Feel like that guy belongs in Pattaya. Yeah, there's a... Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of like normal dudes here too, but there are some fucking dirtbags. He would probably fit right in. Isle of Monk TT. Nice, we just passed 5,000 followers on Instagram too, boys. A 200 kilogram cat is crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Where I'm from in the States, Arizona, we have mountain lions. And an average size mountain lion is probably like 120 to like 150 pounds for a real big one. Like 60, 70 kilos. And those are big. That is a big fucking cat. Like, just remember what like an angry house cat can do to you. Now imagine a cat that's the size of a human. Now imagine a cat that's the size of 2 humans. Agile, insanely strong, big old fucking teeth and claws. Have you ever seen like full-grown tiger claws? They're like 3 inches long. They're huge. Like even just a swipe from that, oh dude, you're fucking done. You're done. Ever meet any criminals in Pattaya? I met a few in the Philippines. Not that I like know. They didn't tell me that they were criminals, you know, but I'm sure I've met guys who are shady. I've met a few guys here where it's like, are you hiding from somebody? You know what I mean? But nothing like for sure. Basically a monster, right? Dude, like, if you go down like the wildlife rabbit hole and like really look around, like if it wasn't for our brains, we would fucking be done. Bears are the worst because they'll eat you a lot. Yeah, grizzly bears are insane. Like I don't think a lot of people like understand how gnarly bears are, or how big like a full-grown grizzly bear is. 1,000 pounds of just muscle and anger. They can run really fast. I feel like a lot of people see a bear and they assume they could like outrun it. They run like 40 miles an hour. You're not outrunning it. They will eat you alive, 100%. They don't worry about like any predator that is like the biggest animal in its area is not going to worry about killing you quickly, you know? That's why I wonder about tigers. Like mountain lions, the way that they kill people sometimes in Arizona, but the way that it usually happens is you'll be hiking or something. You don't even know what happened. They'll just come bombing out, tackle you, bite you on your neck, and you're dead. I don't know if tigers do that. But bears are the same way. They don't have any predators. They don't have anything, minus like moose and stuff, but they can take down a moose with one swipe. And if you've ever seen a moose, also a fucking massive animal. Yeah, grizzly bears are insane. Another animal that sees humans and thinks food. Not a good idea. Don't fuck with a bear. The Revenant. Yeah, a very accurate depiction of what being attacked by a bear would be like. Too old, he'll die in prison. He's not really that, I don't think he's that old. I think he's like 50 something, right? He might be able to get out. Well, because the thing too, if he got sentenced to 21 years, he won't do 21 years. Federal prison, I think you have to do at least 80% of the sentence. So that would be 21 years, 80% of that is like what, 16 years, 15 years, something like that. And then if you don't get in trouble while you're in there, and you can do like programs and stuff, and they'll take more time off. So he could probably get out in like 13 or 14 years. And we'll see. And in American prisons, you get free healthcare. That's pretty much the only way you're ever going to get free healthcare in America. Bosstown and Jomtien, right? Yeah, that show was insane, dude. That show was so crazy. It got to a point where you would like forget that it was real. It just seems like a TV show, you know? You're like, oh, like this, like a scripted TV show. And then you're like, holy fuck, like, no, this is real. This is this real guy. Siberian tigers, 13. Yeah, dude, they're massive. Siberian tiger weight varies, but typically adult males can weigh between 475 and 660 pounds. Some historical accounts suggest even larger Siberian tigers, with some males weighing up to 860 pounds. That's insane. 860 pounds is like 2 Harley Davidsons. That's massive, dude. 12 feet long, 420 kilograms. That's fucking huge. I'm 6 feet tall. So 2 of me laying end to end. That's huge. Yeah, and like there's people that like try to get into arguments like, oh, like who would win in a fight, a lion or a tiger? Bro, lions are like 200 or 300 pounds, which is still massive. But a tigers are double the size. Just a video of a grizzly bear broke a moose back. Yeah, that's what they take down moose. They're gnarly. Like brown bears are crazy. Black bears, fuck a black bear. I'll punch a black bear in the face. But yeah, dude, grizzlies, there's nothing you can do. There was that account of a forest ranger in Montana. A couple of hikers had gone missing, so they were out there. They pretty much knew it was a bear, so they're out there looking for the bear because they're one of those animals. Once they kill one human and they realize how easy it is, they're inclined to keep doing it. Same thing with mountain lions. But this forest ranger is out there looking for one, right? He's got his service pistol, which is a 9mm, and then he's got a rifle. His rifle was a 7mm mag. If you don't know anything about guns, that is a massive bullet. Massive casing, big ass bullet, super high velocity. Like 7mm mag is what people use to like hunt moose. Huge, huge animals, huge bullet. So it gets to the point, he's driving on the side of this like ridge. The ridge goes up a bit more, and then there's a tree line up at the top, about, I think he said like 200 or 300 yards away. He gets there, he's looking up the tree, he sees the bear. Gets out of the car, stands on the other side of the car, takes a shot at the bear, hits it, bear comes charging down the hill at him. He empties his magazine, 5 rounds. Boom, 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 shoots 5 rounds, hits it the initial shot, and then hit it 2 more times. So he's shot in this bear 3 times with a 7mm mag. Reloads, shoots it 2 more times, and then it finally like falls down like 30 or 40 feet from his truck. 5 times with a 7mm mag. They did the autopsy, and they found out not only had he shot it 5 times, they found 3 more slugs from a .38 snub nose, which is like the old school like little cop revolver, you know, from one of the hikers that had shot it 3 times, 2 in like the chest area, and one of the 38 rounds was embedded in its skull. It didn't even go through its skull. A fucking bullet didn't go through its skull. So that just like shows you how insane they are. Like if you shot like a coyote with a 7mm mag, I've done it. You shoot a coyote with that, it blows the coyote in half. Like it literally just cuts him in half. That's how big of a bullet it is. And this fucking bear took 5 of them before it died. Insane. Insane. It was huge. I think the bear ended up being like 1,400 pounds. It was a monster. Could you imagine the fucking balls on that guy? To shoot it 3 times and have it still be coming and reload and stay like, dude, it's got nuts of steel. So wild. What time is it? Damn, it's 1 p.m. already. All right, guys. It's about that time for me. I got to get some food and shit. I got to do laundry and stuff today. One of those super exciting fucking chore days. That's one thing to remember. If you're moving to Thailand long term, you still got to do all the normal shit. You still got to do laundry. You still got to clean your toilet. It's a fucking nightmare. Everybody who stopped in, thank you guys so much. If you hit the super chats, I really appreciate it. If you do want to support the channel, feel free. If not, a like, subscribe, free to do. I will catch you guys later. I hope everybody has a good day, good night. Expect a new video tomorrow night. We'll be up tomorrow night. I'm editing today. It might be up tonight, but I doubt it. Most likely tomorrow. Like I said earlier, if there's stuff you guys want to see, please feel free to drop it in the comments. Shoot me an Instagram DM. My Instagram is up there in the corner.